Hello friends, a very good morning to all the students present. Am I audible to all? Okay, thank you friends. So friends, in the last lecture, you are aware that we have started one of the interesting chapter, that is Unit 10, refrigeration and air conditioning. And friends, if you remember, in the last lecture, we have understood the basic concepts related to the refrigeration. Then we have understood the concepts related to the refrigerants. The refrigerants, they are basically the heat carrying medium which are used in the refrigeration systems. Also, we have understood the different properties of a good refrigerant. And finally, we have understood the different refrigeration parameters. There were three refrigeration parameters we have discussed. They were the refrigerating effect, the turn of refrigeration, and the coefficient of performance. The coefficient of performance is also known as COP. COP, that is equal to the refrigerating effect in kilowatt divided by the compressor work in kilowatt. Always remember friends, the value of COP, that will be always greater than 1. So now let us proceed further with the discussion of this chapter. So these are the contents which we are going to discuss and understand in this particular session. Firstly, we will be understanding the types of the refrigeration systems. Then we will be understanding two most important practically used refrigeration systems. They are the vapor compression refrigeration system, in short VCRS, and we will understand the vapor absorption refrigeration system, that is VARS. After understanding both these concepts of VCRS and VARS, then we will be understanding the comparison between the VCRS and the VARS. And the last topic of this session will be the domestic refrigerant. So friends, let us start with the today's session. First topic, that is the types of the refrigeration systems. Basically friends, the refrigeration systems can be classified mainly into two types. The classification of the refrigeration system includes the natural refrigeration system and the mechanical refrigeration system. Now let us understand some of the basic concepts of both these systems. So in the natural refrigeration system, the cooling effect is produced by the evaporation of the liquids or by the sublimation of the solids. Both these processes will be taking place naturally in context of the liquids and the solids. Hence, the cooling effect produced is termed as the natural refrigeration. Dear friends, if you understand the technical concept, then we can tell that when the liquids evaporate, it absorbs the heat from the surroundings, and thus absorbing the heat from the surroundings, it produces the cooling effect. And similarly, during the sublimation, also known as the melting process, during the sublimation or the melting of the solids, it absorbs the heat from the surroundings and thus it produces the cooling effect. So this is a very simple understanding related to the natural refrigeration system. Let us proceed further and understand the second type, that is the mechanical refrigeration system. In this system, the refrigerating effect is produced by the external source of the mechanical energy or the heat energy. And since in this system we are using the mechanical energy or the heat energy for producing the refrigeration effect, therefore the name is given, that is mechanical refrigeration. Basically friends, there are three types of the mechanical refrigeration systems. They are the air refrigeration system, the vapor compression refrigeration system, and the vapor absorption refrigeration system. So friends, these are the basic understandings related to the types of the refrigeration systems. Now let us proceed further and understand the most important question of this chapter. Remember friends, this is one of the most important topic or the one of the most important question of the chapter of refrigeration and air conditioning. So you need to perfectly understand this topic, that is the vapor compression refrigeration system. And friends, also in the GTU examination, the theoretical examination, the VCR cycle, VCR system is asked frequently. So considering the GTU examinations, this is also one of the most important question. So let us understand the vapor compression refrigeration system. In short, it is known as the VCR cycle. VCR or the vapor compression refrigeration system is the most popular and widely used in the refrigeration and the air conditioning systems, both for the domestic applications as well as the industrial applications. It is one of the most widely used and one of the most popular refrigeration system. In this system, the vapor is used as a refrigerant. The vapor can be any of the type of R11, R12, R22 as well as the other types of the refrigerant. But in simple, we are considering that in this system, the vapor of the refrigerant, type of the refrigerant is used as the working fluid. While the refrigerant is flowing in the system, the refrigerant alternately evaporates and condenses. This is a very important point to be understood in this system. The refrigerant alternately evaporates and condenses. Thus, it undergoes a phase change. Dear friends, if you understand, during the evaporation process, the liquid is converted into the vapor phase, whereas during the condensation process, the vapor is converted into the liquid phase. During the evaporation process, the refrigerant, it absorbs the latent heat from the space to be cooled. Remember friends, the latent heat is that type of heat which is responsible for the phase change of the substance. So during the evaporation process, the refrigerant will absorb the latent heat of evaporation from the space which is desired to be cooled. And similarly, on the opposite side, during the condensation, the refrigerant will be rejecting the heat to the outside atmosphere. So friends, during the condensation, the vapor refrigerant will be rejecting the heat to the atmosphere. Hence, the vapor refrigerant will be converted into the liquid refrigerant. Dear students, have you understood the basic concepts of the vapor compression refrigeration system? Is these points are clear to all? Okay, thank you for your responses. Now friends, let us proceed further and understand in more details this VCR system. So this is the same image which is given in your textbook of basic mechanical engineering. So there are four main components of the vapor compression refrigeration system. The first component, the most important one, that is the compressor. Then we are having the condenser. The third component is the expansion device, also known as the expansion valve or the throttle valve. And finally, the most important component of this system, that is the evaporator. In the examination, you need to compulsory draw this diagram. Now let us understand the functions of each component. In the compressor, as you are observing in the image, the low pressure, low temperature vapor refrigerant which is coming out of the evaporator is entered in the compressor. In the compressor, by supplying the external work, the compression process will be taking place, and thus because of the compression process, the pressure and temperature of the vapor refrigerant will be increasing, and this increased high pressure, high temperature vapor refrigerant is then passed on to the condenser. So this is a very simple understanding of the compressor, or we can tell that for the process 1 to 2. Remember friends, the nomenclature is very important in this figure. So for process 1 to 2, that is the compression process, and the compression process takes place in the condenser. Because of this compression, the pressure and temperature of the vapor refrigerant increases. Dear students, it is clear to all the working of the compressor, very easy to understand. Is it clear to all? The function of the compressor or the process 1 to 2. Okay, fine. Thank you. So now let us proceed further and understand the next process, that is process 2 to 3, or can be considered as the function of the condenser. In the condenser, dear friends, we will be supplying the cooling medium. The cooling medium can be either the air or the water. When the refrigerant, high pressure, high temperature vapor refrigerant is flowing in the condenser, it will come in contact with the cooling medium. So the condenser will be rejecting the heat to the cooling medium, or can be considered it will be rejecting the heat to the outside atmosphere. So here the energy will be rejected out in the atmosphere. And since the vapor refrigerant has rejected the energy into the atmosphere, the phase change takes place. And if you observe in the image, the entry of the condenser, that is high pressure, high temperature, vapor refrigerant, this vapor refrigerant, high temperature, rejects the heat, therefore the phase change takes place, and because of this phase change, now at the outlet of the condenser, we are getting high pressure, low temperature, liquid refrigerant. Remember friends, the condensation will be taking place in such a manner that it is only undergoing the phase change of the refrigerant. The pressure conditions, they remain the same during the condenser. Here friends, we are not considering the volume because we are assuming that the specific volume of the refrigerant takes place somewhat similar throughout the cycle. So now friends, it is clear to all the working of the condenser. So in the condenser, what we have done, the high temperature vapor refrigerant is converted into the low temperature liquid refrigerant. The first phase change has taken place of the refrigerant. Since the vapor is converted into the liquid, it has removed the heat energy into the atmosphere. Dear students, it is clear to all the working of the condenser. Very easy, just understand the process of condensation. Is it clear to all? Okay, fine. So friends, we have discussed two components, the compressor and the condenser. Now let us proceed further to the third component, that is the expansion device. Expansion device is also known as the throttle valve, or it is known as the expansion valve. In this device, it will be the refrigerant will be undergoing the expansion process. And friends, we are well aware that during the expansion process, there is the reduction in the pressure. So the high pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant entering into the expansion device. Because of the expansion process, now there will be the reduction of the pressure. Hence, at the outlet, we are getting low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant. No phase change, no temperature change, only there will be the change in the pressure conditions. The high pressure is converted into the low pressure refrigerant. Now friends comes the most important component of this cycle or the system, that is the evaporator. In the evaporator, as you are observing that the low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant will be entering, it will be flowing in the evaporator, so it will absorb the latent heat of evaporation, and this heat will be absorbed by the refrigerant from the space to be cooled. That means the space which we have selected for making the cool environment, from that space, that particular space, the refrigerant will be absorbing the latent heat of evaporation. And since the refrigerant has absorbed the latent heat of evaporation from the space, now the space is cooled, the heat is removed from the space. Since the refrigerant absorbs the latent heat, there is only the phase change. Remember friends, during the understanding of the latent heat, there is no temperature change, no pressure change, only the refrigerant will be changing the phase from the liquid refrigerant to the vapor refrigerant. That's why I am focusing on the point that in the evaporator, the refrigerant will be absorbing the latent heat of evaporation. And since it is absorbing the latent heat of evaporation, the liquid refrigerant is converted into the vapor refrigerant. It is very important point to be understood, and evaporator the most important component of this system. So friends, again now the low pressure, low temperature vapor refrigerant will be transferred to the compressor, and this cycle will be repeated several times in order to generate the refrigerating effect. In this, we have understood that the refrigerant simultaneously undergoes two processes, the condensation process in the condenser and the evaporation process in the evaporator. Dear students, have you understood perfectly these concepts of the vapor compression refrigeration system? I want your responses in the chat box. Okay, fine. Thank you all for sharing the maximum answers, maximum responses. Let us proceed further. So this is one of the another interesting diagram representing the VCR cycle in order to understand how the heats are rejected from the condenser and how the heat is absorbed from the required refrigerated space. So in the compressor, we are supplying the work, so W in. Then in the condenser, the refrigerant rejects the heat to the surrounding atmosphere, which is considered the warm environments. In the expansion valve, the expansion process takes place, and in the evaporator, the refrigerant will be absorbing the latent heat of evaporation from the space to be cooled. That means that space is considered as the cold refrigerated space, and in the evaporator, the refrigerant will be absorbing the heat. Let us proceed further. These are the simple pH and TS diagrams for the VCR cycle. 1 to 2 process, that is compression process, 2 to 3 that is condensation, 3 to 4 that is expansion, and 4 to 1 that is the evaporation process. So these are again the two important diagrams of the VCR cycle. Pressure enthalpy diagram, that is pH diagram, and temperature entropy diagram, that is TS diagram. So friends, I hope now you have perfectly understood the vapor compression refrigeration system. Is it clear to all? Because it is one of the most important question that can be asked in your examination. Is it clear to all the VCR system? Okay, fine. Thank you. So now let us proceed further and understand the second mechanical refrigeration system, that is the vapor absorption refrigeration system. In short, it is known as VARS. In this system, there is no compressor, and the compressor of the VCRS is replaced by the generator and absorber assembly. In this system, the refrigerant coming from the evaporator is first absorbed in the absorber, and then it is passed on to the generator. The absorbing medium which is used in the absorber may be either the solid or the liquid type. In the VAR system, the ammonia is the refrigerant and water is considered as the absorbent. Ammonia, if you remember, that is NH3. This is important point. The ammonia as the refrigerant has a special characteristic or the property. It is easily absorbed by the water at low pressure and low temperature conditions, but at high pressure and high temperature conditions, the solubility of ammonia in the water is reduced. That means at low pressure, low temperature conditions, the ammonia is easily soluble in water, whereas at the high pressure, high temperature conditions, the solubility of ammonia is reduced. Therefore, when the mixture of water and ammonia is heated in the generator, the ammonia vapor is separated from the water. And because of these special characteristic of the ammonia, we are using ammonia as the refrigerant in the vapor absorption refrigeration system. Ammonia generally forms the strong solution and the weak solution with water. Dear friends, strong solution is that type of solution in which the percentage of ammonia is higher than the water. That is the strong solution. And friends, in the weak solution, the percentage of ammonia is lesser than the water. So considering all these points, considering the characteristics of the ammonia, producing the strong solutions and the weak solutions, we are using these principles, these concepts in order to operate the VAR system. Let us proceed further and now understand the VARS. Remember friends, in your textbook also there is one correction, because this is the image of the textbook. At this point, that is low pressure, low temperature NH3 vapor, just mark point number 1. This is the starting point of the cycle. So at this point you mark 1 in your textbook. Because if you observe the image, the starting point is not mentioned. Next, other points are mentioned. So friends, now let us understand the working. You are observing in the image that there is no compressor. We are having the condenser, expansion device and evaporator, but in place of the compressor, we are using the absorber and the generator assembly. So friends, at point number 1, that is the starting, the low pressure, low temperature ammonia vapor, it enters into the absorber. In the absorber, we will be supplying the cooling water, the cooling medium. Therefore, the ammonia vapor will come in contact with the cooling medium. The heat transfer will be taking place, and finally, the ammonia will be soluble in the water. The percentage of ammonia will be increased with respect to the water. Hence, we can tell that a strong solution is prepared. This strong solution, by means of the pump, it is transferred to the generator. The strong solution which is prepared in the absorber with the operation of the pump is transferred to the generator. In the generator, we will be supplying the external heat energy. This external heat energy is absorbed by the strong solution. Hence, now at the high pressure, high temperature conditions, the ammonia vapor will be separated out from the water, or we can tell that it will be separated out from the weak solution. So the high pressure, high temperature ammonia vapor is further passed on to the condenser, where the condensation process takes place. The vapor ammonia converted to liquid ammonia. And friends, the weak solution which is collected, separated in the generator is further passed on to the absorber. So the cycle 2, 3, 4, 5 continuously operates. and the bigger cycle of the condenser, expansion device and the evaporator also operates. The operation remains the same of the condenser, expansion device and the evaporator, only the change is the type of the refrigerant. In the vapor compression refrigeration, we were only justifying the vapor as the refrigerant, but here we are marking ammonia as the refrigerant. Dear students, is this concept clear to all? The vapor absorption refrigeration system, it is very similar to the VCR system. Only the point is the compressor is replaced by generator absorber assembly. Let us now proceed further and understand the comparison between VCR and VAR so that the concept will be much clear to you. Working method: in the VCR, refrigerant vapor is compressed in the compressor, whereas in the VAR, the refrigerant vapor is first absorbed in the absorber and then it is heated in the generator. Type of energy supplied: mechanical energy supplied to the compressor. VAR, the heat energy supplied to the generator for heating the strong solution. Input work required: more compression work is required to operate the compressor, whereas in the VAR, less mechanical work is required to drive the pump, mechanical pump. The coefficient of performance: VCR is having the high coefficient of performance, whereas in the VAR, the value of COP is comparatively low. Next point of the comparison, that is capacity. VCR system, the capacity is limited to 1000 tons, whereas in VAR it may be above 1000 tons. Noise produced: VCR, because of the operation of the compressor, more noise is produced, but with respect to VAR it is the quiet operation. Leakage of the refrigerant: in the VCR, because of the compression, because of the high pressure conditions, more leakage chances due to the high pressure, whereas in the VAR there is almost no leakage. And last point, that is the operating cost. So VCR system operating cost is generally higher, but in the VAR system it is lower. So friends, this was about the understanding of the two systems, the VCR system, the VAR system, and also we have understood the several points of comparison between these two important mechanical refrigeration systems. Now let us proceed further and understand the domestic refrigerator. This refrigerator which we are using in our homes for the cooling purposes. So friends, the domestic refrigerator, the main components, the compressor, as you can observe in the image, the compressor suction line, the compressor delivery line. The delivery of the compressor is then passed on to the condenser coils. The outlet of the condenser is connected to the throttle valve, also known as the expansion valve, and it is further connected to the freezing section, that is the evaporator coil, that is the evaporator. The outlet of the evaporator is again converted or connected to the compressor. So basically friends, the domestic refrigerator, it works on the VCR cycle. The domestic refrigerator which we are using in our day-to-day lives, they work on the vapor compression refrigeration system. Let us understand some of the points of this refrigerator. It consists of an evaporator which is installed in the freezing compartment of the refrigerator, because friends, if you consider the cool environments within the refrigerator, the most coolest part of the refrigerator is the freezing compartment, and that is considered as the evaporator section. One end of the evaporator is connected to the suction side of the compressor and the other end is connected to the condenser through the throttle valve, as we have already understood in the VCR cycle. Normally, friends, if you observe, the condenser is installed at the back side of the refrigerator. On the back side, we will be observing the grills. So that represents the condenser. The delivery side of the compressor is connected to the condenser. The refrigerator is usually specified in terms of the volumetric capacity of the inside cooling space. Hence, if you understand or if you have heard, the refrigerator always comes or are specified in terms of liters, 100 liter, 150 liter, 200 liter, 250 liters, and so on. The primary function of the domestic refrigerator is to provide the storage space at the reduced temperature between 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, and for the freezer section, for the frozen food compartments, the temperature is between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. So these are the simple basic understandings related to the domestic refrigerator. So friends, with this, I am concluding this session from my side. Thanks for watching today's session. Have a nice day. Now friends, if you are having any questions from your side, you are free to ask me in the chat box. One student has asked which refrigerant is used in the VCR cycle. As per the application of the VCR cycle, we are using the type of the refrigerant. R11 can be used, R12 can be used, R22 also can be used. But if we consider the present scenarios of the domestic refrigerators, we are using R134A as the refrigerant in the domestic refrigerator. One student has asked, can you explain the generator? Generator is the device in which the strong solution will be entering. In the generator, the heat energy will be supplied. So at high temperature conditions, the ammonia vapor will be separated from the solution. This high pressure, high temperature ammonia vapor is further transferred to the condenser, and now the leftover weak solution in the generator is then again passed on to the absorber. Dear student, is it clear? Find any other questions from your side? Have you understood all? I want your responses in the chat box if you have understood the today's topics perfectly. Okay, thank you all. See you in the next lecture.